right, fellas, welcome to the Man-Dab-Lorian episode 5. We're reviewing episode 5. I don't know what episode we're doing. Yeah, because we only started this year. This is one of the worst intros I've ever had so far. But yeah, we're going to review episode 5 entitled The Jedi, and we're going to do, that's one of our favorite things in the world, and then we're going to do one of our other favorite things in the world, and we're going to smoke a little reefer. Yeah. So first things first, introductions from Detroit Rock City, artist, weed smoker, toy collector. Anything else? Gentleman, dapper gentleman.
Scholar,
lover of all women.
Not all women.
And a few dudes.
But no dudes, but a few women.
All right, Nico Tronus.
That's me.
Chris.
Hi, everybody.
From Colorado, we have Christopher Sturm, and I'm sorry I didn't have it. I failed so hard at the intro for that. I didn't feel like trying to give you a fanfare. What do you call it? You're an artist in your own. Chris does really awesome graffiti, and then he does. I've seen some of his paintings are cool, or drawings that you've done, and some actual phenomenal photography as well. Some of your that one specifically, the Spider-Man one with the Mysterio. That one,
dude. Yeah, that was my highest like.
And the one with the other one I love is the one with the what's the ant's name that you collect, the Mezco guy.
Oh, Gomez.
Him kicking the dude in the nuts. That one's.
Oh yeah, dude, that was great. I entered that into a Mezco Mondays contest. I was hoping that would win.
And then all the way from Spokane, Washington, where his favorite football team will most likely wipe the floor with mine tomorrow. Hailing from Spokane, Washington, owner and proprietor of Access Cannabis, Wayne Fort.
Good, man. Thanks for having me again. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
Absolutely, no problem. Nico, what are you smoking tonight?
Some fantabulous THCA from Detroit Herbal Center that was purchased on Black Friday over a Black Friday deal of 3.5 grams for $100, which was a savings of $50 on the regular price. That was pretty fucking great.
Not bad.
It's like a free gram right there.
Basically, yeah. 3 grams and a half.
Wayne, what are you smoking tonight?
I've got some orange cake from a company called Cedar Creek. They're pesticide-free grower out of Clark County, and the stuff is incredible.
Nice. That was a big. You're gonna do that whole thing? That was a lot. And I saved you for last, Chris, because you said you had some straight fire today.
Dude. There's a company out here called Binsk, and I got some of their live sugar papaya cake.
Like lobster bisque?
Dude. There's an N, add an N in there and then you got it.
Binsk?
Yeah.
Are you saying Pam? You're saying Pan? Anyway, there you go, Binsk. Awesome.
They're my favorite. I don't care what it is, dude. If they have some shit from them at the dispensary, dude, I'm fucking buying it.
I typically smoke flower for this, but I'm going to take a break because of the special occasion, and I'm going to smoke me some of my Cresco Labs Lime Skunk. Live res, I believe this is, I'm not sure what it is, actually. It's just wax.
Yeah, it looks like some butter.
It's butter. I think that's what it was.
Said for our loyal viewers, he's just so depleted from all the masturbating since the new episode.
That's true.
Dude, who knew orange could look attractive?
I did.
After the last 4 years.
I've been doing a lot of mental masturbation over this episode.
Mental.
Where is my dab tool at? Oh, where is
Orange
my
on it somewhere.
I can't find my dab tool.
Do you think you can milk her Lekus? Like, do you think,
I'm not sure. You can ask Dave Filoni if you ever meet him.
I will ask him.
Here it is. I need my Captain America.
Be like fucking Brody and Mallrats, like asking the most inappropriate questions.
All right, guys. Hail and praise Yoda. And fire it up.
Amazing action.
So episode 5, the Jedi, directed by David Filoni. Star Wars Jesus, Star Wars Messiah, our Lord and Savior, just the most amazing person in the entire world. I don't know about you guys, but I was completely expecting Ahsoka to maybe show up a few minutes in, or like a little. I thought what was going to happen was he was going to get to the planet and then something would happen where he would save her. Nah, fuck that. They just started it out.
Stayed up for, dude.
I stay up every
night. Yeah, I actually did too, and I was actually drinking a little bit, and I was like kind of like buzzed when I watched it. So I was like so like in like such a great mood, like when you have a few drinks and you have like those first few and you're just like really feeling it, and then for me to see like Ahsoka like just them lightsabers pop up, I was just like squeeze. Like I was an immediate little girl.
They showed the lightsabers before they showed Din Djarin. I mean, it was like you guys have been waiting.
Dude, they just pop out. Boom, dude, the white ones, dude, in live action. So.
Besides the Darksaber, this was the first lightsaber action, and it wasn't just like even like a lightsaber. It was her just bad. Like she fucked up all those dudes. How awesome was it that the way he made it was like you wouldn't see her at all in the mist, and all of a sudden you'd hear her and see the lightsabers, and she'd pop out, fuck the guy up,
dude.
and then lower the lightsabers, and she would just
the Evil Dead scene.
Yes, when he did that first person Jedi running, and then the camera flips to the other side and she ignites the sabers.
Dude, that was
beautiful. The tree, when she sliced the tree and then stepped behind it, and then uses the force to the middle piece of it out.
Right before that, she had the two guys on either side, and she used the force to make like a noise and distract one of them, and then he jumped over, and then she sliced right through the tree. So dope, man.
So good.
And then so she goes right up to the gate that she's at.
Right, like anytime Ahsoka had any action, everything about any action that she took reminded me of Samurai movie. Like they gave her the real. Like when her weapons are out and it's action time, it was done in a samurai style. Well, no wasted motion.
That's gonna be a recurring discussion in this whole episode.
The
whole episode was basically a Kurosawa.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. Dude, it really was. Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like straight it really was.
Samurai.
So she gets up to the gate, and the first thing we see is a fucking Kyle Reese popping up out of nowhere. So Michael,
I was like, is that really him? I was like,
I didn't know it was him until Nico pointed it out later in the day.
Yeah, and it was kind of shocking too to realize, oh my god, wow, like that did not look like him. It didn't sound like him. I would never have guessed just by looking at him that was Kyle fucking Reese. No way.
You know who it looked like to me?
It took me all the way through the episode, up until he said, "I've got no quarrel with you." And as soon as he said that line, it clicked who it was because he said it similar enough to the way he delivered that line in Tombstone that I'm like, holy shit, that's Johnny Ringo. And it took me that long.
It was right around that time. I remember I messaged you, Nico.
Yeah.
Just like out of the chat, and I was like, dude, is that Kyle Reese?
I thought at first like it was his head was a little too skinny, but at first I was like, they kind of looked like fucking Philip Coulson from I forget the guy's name, Clark Gregg. Yeah, it kind of looked like him. He's a little skinnier, but like I did not realize it was him until you guys told me.
Dude, and you know he
good job, but
he did a
really had two really
acting job in this too, because like he even had like a limp to his walk in the shots that we saw him walking.
Yeah,
it was like just hats off, like Michael Bay.
Dude,
job.
Yeah, it was so great, man. Yeah, I loved it. Just he. All right, we're getting okay. I don't want to get ahead.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll get back into it. So
he was just great. Yeah.
We were talking about before, Nico, you had mentioned before that there was a possibility that we were only going to see Rosario Dawson holding one lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I was really, really bummed out at the prospect of that. However, not only did we get to see her dual wield the lightsabers, we got to see the reverse grip fighting too. Yeah. She started doing that shit. It was almost like she was messing around, and then she got serious when she did the flip, like the reverse, and it was so awesome. So then
I noticed that she stayed on the she didn't go on the offensive hardly at all until she lost the one, and she's like, all right, fuck no, dude, like it's on.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the final fight? Yeah. That was amazing. We'll get to that. So I had so then we got to see the magistrate come up, and the magistrate was played by Diana Lee Inosanto, who I didn't know this obviously, but we found out later that that's actually Bruce Lee's goddaughter. Her father is a martial arts instructor that was very popular, I guess, back in Bruce Lee's day, and he was a good friend of Bruce Lee's. So she is a martial artist. She knows apparently like a lot of different styles, and she does like stunt work and shit like that. And I found out that she actually did the stunt work for Buffy on the Buff, but only for the pilot though. She did it for just a Buffy pilot, which is cool because I love that shit too. I don't know about you guys. I was getting, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, but the chick from Kill Bill, Oren Ishii.
Yeah, that's it.
Lucy Liu. I was getting vibes like that's who she reminded me. Like she was acting like very much like when she was talking to all the mob bosses, and she had like this stoic voice. Like it was very authoritative, but very like unemotional. And she sounds like fucking Lucy Liu from Kill Bill.
She had like a very imperial and yet also feudal samurai kind of feel and vibe to her. Like it's interesting. Like I don't want to get ahead of the story of where we're at with the episode, but like it's they do so much world building with the characters that they introduce us to that you can't help but questions, like almost in the same way like the Bill Burr episode from season 1. Like it just makes me wonder, like I don't know if we'll see Bill again, but I wonder if we'll see any of those guys that were on that show. Because we know
they got mentioned, but that's about it.
Yeah, especially even like Bill Burr, but maybe Mark Boone Jr., the guy from Sons of Anarchy, who was the one that put it together.
Well, he got murked. Yeah.
Did he? He was on the spaceship when it got blown. Okay, so
But here's my caveat for that. I'm just gonna send it out into the universe that if Dave Filoni wants to hire me to play his that would be perfect, and that I could also be chasing after Mando and Grogu to attempt to retrieve the child for the Empire. If Dave Filoni could, see the appearance of you.
I'm sure he waits every Tuesday for this to come out.
I have a feeling he really wants to know what we're thinking, and Dave, I'm sending a message through the phone. He would like to hire me. I am
So basically the gist is we find out that she wants some information from this magistrate, and the magistrate basically just rules this town with an iron grip. She clearly literally says, I don't care about all these people. So if you're trying to come in here to get me, I'm going to murder all these people. And is this information that I possess worth it to you? And Ahsoka decides that it is. And she gives her 1 day before she awesomely lowers her lightsabers again and just fucking disappears into the fog.
Dude, oh man, that was just great.
It was so dope. It was such a samurai move to just put the swords away and vanish.
Just fade into the shadows, man. It was just like what a great first, like not even 5 minutes, was it? Like 4
Dude,
and a half minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes in, 3.5 minutes in, and just like
I kind of want to like pause this and just watch it again. So then and we get this, it slows down a little bit, and then we get to see Mando and Baby Yoda arrive on Corvus. So Baby Yoda really wants that knob. I don't know why. I don't even know why a spaceship has a shifting knob on it like a fucking Mustang would, but it is what it is, and he really wants that knob.
Yeah. And you know, the thing about it was interesting to me because of what we see later in the episode, but the truth of the matter is Ahsoka and Mando really didn't know until they got off of the ship that Baby had used the Force to take the knob.
Yeah. Well, no, Mando took it from him when they got off the ship. He didn't know that. That's what you see. Yeah, okay. It's funny because he says it and he goes, "How many times did I tell you this has to stay on the ship?" And then he puts it in his pocket and doesn't put it back in the ship.
Well, they were gonna go check the city.
That's true. So they arrive at the city, and Lang, who is the Michael Biehn, his name is Lang. So he sees them, and it seems like they kind of made it a point to have, there was some sort of like unspoken moment between them. Like they kind of like recognize each other immediately for what they are. Like he immediately knew that he was a Mando from the guild, and like he knew that he was like a gunfighter, like a hired, like an ex-military. Yeah, he knew that he was somebody that could be trouble. He's not just like your average red shirt. You know, he's like what do they call it? Like a pre-boss, like a before getting to a mini boss. Yeah,
a mini boss.
Yeah.
This is Cuts Man before you
get to Wily and shit. So yeah, they he brings him in because he realizes he's from the guild, and it seems like this guild thing, they're like universally known. Like he gets like special. Maybe it's not exactly the same, but think of it like in Game of Thrones, like the Night's Watch people, like everybody know they're like a separate thing to themselves, even if they're in other towns. Everybody knows they're from the Night's Watch, and they're allowed to do certain things, and they're always afforded with some sort of like respect and like that kind of shit. So like I guess like worldwide, everybody kind of knows who the guild, like this guild of bounty hunters or whatever they are, which is kind of cool. He notices some guys being tortured, and it was really cool that they were being tortured, and they showed their skeletons electrifying through their skin. I just thought that was cool looking as all.
Well, and they were also calling out to Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, dude. I got some Fallout New Vegas vibes on that one for sure. I don't know if any of you have played that game. There's this dude, you come across some people getting tortured similarly to that, and yeah, you're like, damn, I kind of want to help these people. But almost the same way, not except minus the electrocution. But they're just like strung up.
So he goes inside, and he sees, first of all, this is beautiful space Zen garden that she has. And it's, again, just very samurai. Everything about so far has been like
also a huge contrast to everything Mando just walked through to get there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's like she's like fuck you guys, I got my own shit. Yeah, like
I remember when he sees that monster like bite the top of a tree and like wood, like I get the feeling like that's not natural for those things, like that the Empire has decimated what used to be beautiful, and that these creatures are resorted to like just on the wood because they've got nothing left.
So they come to some sort of agreement where says she wants to hire him to kill this Jedi, and she offers him a spear of pure Beskar, which was very interesting and very foreshadowing-y.
Yes.
And she makes it a point to mention that the Jedi are the ancient enemy of the Mandalorian, and that this is something that he should be able to do.
A Jedi plagues me.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool that when he had this Beskar and he tapped it against his armor, it made that like vibranium kind of, Beskar, pure Beskar.
Pure Beskar.
So he kind of doesn't really agree, but I guess he agrees, but he doesn't really like take a contract or anything. But so he's out there.
He's careful with.
What's that, Wayne?
He's careful with his wording.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't want to. Because he knows that if he promises, he's gonna have to.
Right. He's careful not to agree, but he's also careful not to put her off and make her think that he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, he played that pretty well.
Where is he? That's all he wants to know.
So he goes off through the woods, and first of all, before that, he goes out and Lang's looking at Baby Yoda, and he goes, "What is that?" He goes, "This just something I keep around for good luck."
And Baby Yoda grunted at him when he was like, "What is that?" He's like, grunt. So if you have captions on, or subtitles on, it says grunting.
Yeah, I do watch it with subtitles. Yeah, because I like catching that.
I do as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such as they immediately. I won't skip ahead, but they
Dude,
immediately
I know what you're gonna say though.
The name changed immediately on the caption. So anyway, he's wandering off through the woods, backpacking, whistling to himself, and
skipping through puddles, kicking rocks.
What we see is, if you notice at the this mark up in the top left corner, you saw an owl who presumably is Morai, who is the spirit of the daughter, the physical embodiment of the light side of the Force. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Yes. From Mortis, and people that have watched Clone Wars will know that she has a special connection to Ahsoka because she gave up the last bit of her life to save Ahsoka from her brother, who was the physical embodiment of the dark side, the sun, replacing a curse on her or something.
Yep, that's correct.
Which, by the way, Mortis Ahsoka, I need to get another Ahsoka. Like, if they do a Clone Wars figure, I need to get a second one because I need to get somebody to custom that as a Mortis, with the lines in her face and shit like that.
Yeah, all like possessed and shit.
And I think we really need a Clone Wars Ahsoka too, because they haven't done one. They did a 3 3/4 one.
There's a lot.
What?
Yeah.
There's a 3 3/4 Clone Wars Ahsoka.
What is this?
No, you know what I mean. The Clone Wars not season 7 Ahsoka, like Clone Wars, like with the green sabers and the tan, like younger one from like the first couple seasons. That's what I want. This one. Yeah,
hey,
this
one has Mandalorian detailing on her shirt.
Oh, I know. She's my favorite Ahsoka, to be honest. That's my favorite embodiment of Ahsoka is the season 7 one.
I wasn't doing that just to...
I know what you were doing, you freaking weirdo.
No, I wasn't. That's exactly what I was not doing. I was pointing out the detail of the costuming here.
So, anyway, he's backpacking through the woods, and then we get what we've all been waiting for, a fight between Mando and Ahsoka, which is amazing. Now, I forget, remind me exactly how that went down. Did he, hear something and then, stop, or did she just pop out of nowhere?
Yeah, he heard something. And
he stopped. He pulled the child out of the what do you call it? The Baby Yoda Bjorn.
Yeah.
Put him down on a tree stump, and he said, "Did you hear that?" And he pulled out the little telescope from his rifle and started looking around, and he saw a couple of beasts out there who were again chewing on the trees and making noise.
Right, yeah.
He thought that's what it was that made the noise, not knowing what was about to happen. And
yeah,
so igniting lightsabers, jumping down at Din from above at the trees, which, was kind of amazing because we didn't see her in the trees, but we did see Morai.
It's true. So we got something which was really cool, and the first thing that happens is she swings a lightsaber at him, and he blocks it with his Beskar guards, and that is so telling.
It's so amazing.
Yeah. Like, they're definitely foreshadowing some sort of battle with him and lightsabers, and we don't know who it might be, but we all kind of do. But yeah, this is what it's leading up to. Because he holds
it's gonna be
his own
sick.
for a bit.
I know that.
Now, personally, I think had that fight went on longer, Ahsoka would have mopped the floor with him. Just because she's a Jedi.
Ahsoka would have
why he
with him, period.
But it's telling that he held his own for a bit. Like the coolest thing in this whole fucking episode was the point where he uses the flamethrower on her, and she back cartwheels out of the way, and it catches her cloak. And then, God, I was trying to get a still of that, but Disney Plus is like, fuck you, Kyle. We don't let you do that. Then he shoots her with the grappling hook, and she just looks at him like, ha! And she jumps up, slings his ass up on the tree, and then he cuts himself loose. But and then it's just David Filoni is obviously, he didn't create Ahsoka, but he is an expert at making her do the things that Ahsoka's supposed to do. The way she was fighting was exactly like how she fights. It was very like confident, cocky. She gets that from Anakin and Obi-Wan because they're both cocky as fuck, both of them guys. And they're always cracking jokes and like in the fight, and just like you could definitely tell that she was Anakin and Obi-Wan, because had like Plo Koon trained her, I don't think she'd be as charismatic or jokey,
What do you mean?
But like Anakin and Obi were like the dude bros of the Jedi. They're, White Claw drinking.
Quinlan Voss and
back to your drinks.
Quinlan Voss, you're talking about the stoner guy, right? Yeah, the fucking
Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, if you need someone to play live action, I am your man. I'm Greek, I can do it.
That would work.
Great at me because I know I'm a pasty Greek. Okay. Back to the show.
Anyway, a great line that they popped into this thing was, he realizes he's about to get fucked up, and he's, oh, wait, Bo-Katan sent me. And then she just looks at him, and then you just see her eyes go over, and she goes, I hope it's about him. And they show fucking Baby Yoda. It was
a nice like contrast to like the couple of seconds we just saw.
Right.
Before it was just instant like, oh shit, this guy.
So she came off cocky and not too blown away by seeing that. But I mean, she looked surprised, yes, but she didn't look like flabbergasted. But I can only imagine in her inside mind went, like seeing a Baby Yoda. Like, what the fuck? Like, she was keeping her cool about it, but I would imagine she was.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking maybe
many emotions.
Did she know that he was at the temple?
I don't think so.
She learned that from talking to him, because realistically, they both would have been there at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That maybe, but yeah, I guess yeah. He was maybe kept secret or something.
Well, he's 10 years older than her.
Yeah.
So it all depends on how old he was when he was brought there.
And that's true.
From where?
We think that probably maybe Yoda and fucking Girdle or whatever her name is.
They absolutely.
He would have been born there probably. Then
prizes up against each other and brought
frog sex.
Sweet little Grogu. They did it Froggy style. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as they doing it.
So, well, Nico just brought it up, and then we can go right into that. We were all collectively as a nation blown away when she said the word Grogu. And everybody went like, what, huh? What? I said, huh? What? What'd she say? She didn't say Baby Yoda. I don't get it. And then slowly it sinks in. Dave Filoni just named Baby Yoda. And he named Baby Yoda Grogu. Now, personally, I'm going to still call him Baby Yoda. I like the name. I don't know what you guys think. Chris, you were talking about this earlier.
Dude, I like it, man. Yeah. I like it. Like, it was just like, I don't know. I just like that he has a name now because I'm like, I could put a name to it. And
yeah. It's great. I love it.
I was thinking earlier that I'm really glad that it wasn't a variation on Yoda. Like we got Yoda, and then during episode 1 they had Yaddle, which is obviously a variation of a Yoda. And you know, it would have just kind of been too much if they had done that again with his name. I'm really glad that it was, you know, within the same type of, like, it sounds similar and that it, you know, it's just kind of a,
like it could come from the same place.
Yeah,
from the same different names, like Greg and
let me
Ted or something, you know.
Oh, all of your minds right now. I love it, and here's why I love it. The name Grogu, it's just a few letters rearranged. It's George.
That's pretty dope.
Dude, there's no E in it though.
Exactly, no E's.
Yeah, I guess G-O-R-G. Yeah.
Grogu.
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that because I'm high, but
you high.
Sure. Bro. Yeah, there's no U in it though.
Grogu.
There was an old action. It was
yeah, I don't know.
You know, it spelled backwards and he was dressed up as an X-Wing pilot. And Joel was his name instead of George.
I don't think I buy that, Nico. I think you need
I think you need to buy it. I think you need to buy it and you need to sell it everywhere.
Cost about tree fitting.
You need to pull up the truck like it's Costco and load it up.
All right. Anyway, not only did we get a Baby Yoda name, and I love it, people are still going to call him Baby Yoda because I'll tell you why. Because that's his name, and also because at the end of last season, they called Mando Din. They gave him a name, but everybody still fucking calls him Mando. When's the last time you heard anybody, like, outside of the show go, oh, what did Din do in this show? Like, no, it's they call him Mando. He's Mando, and Baby Yoda is Baby Yoda.
Yeah, but only, I mean, a very select, small group of people even know his name is Din. Grief.
No, right, but I mean, I'm not talking about in the show. I'm talking about us as fans. When we refer to that character, nobody refers to him as Jin. We sometimes, I've seen you guys call him, but everybody says Mando. So
yeah.
I'm guilty of saying Mando, but I like to say his name too.
I imagine
I like Grogu. I'm gonna be like, hey, that ain't Baby Yoda no more.
I'm still gonna call him Baby Yoda.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
You'll always be Baby Yoda to me, Grogu.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, that was weird. I'll probably cut that out. So not only did we get a name for Baby Yoda, Grogu, we got his backstory, where Ahsoka claims that he was raised on Coruscant, and he was trained by many masters. I wonder who. And when the Order 66 happened, he was taken away, and then she says the rest is shrouded in darkness. He can't either has PTSD, he was maybe experimented on. We can only speculate. I saw somebody speculate that maybe even the one that took him away was Sidious, and that since he was exposed to like Force, like maybe he was like blocking his mind, so he didn't know. I don't know. That seems kind of like unlikely, but it's a cool thought. He maybe used the dark side to wipe his memory or something.
What I would throw out is maybe the fact that the last time he had his blood drawn by the Empire kind of fucked him up a bit. And the reason why he's constantly eating is because he's trying to rebuild his own body. Like maybe, you know, I don't know, not necessarily his own body, but like
I get what you mean. His energy or his force power or something, like whatever.
Yeah, he's recharging.
Building his strength back up, which is why he's basically a bottomless pit of hunger. Plus, he's also a child, so of course he's a bottomless pit of hunger.
So I heard some people speculate that possibly Mace Windu went back and spirited him away. I heard, maybe possibly Yoda kept him in secret, like did it. And I also heard that it's very possible that I can't remember her name, but the librarian Jedi, the one that Vader killed,
to
get his red sabers. What was her name?
Jocasta knew.
That maybe she took him away.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah. Either way, doesn't matter. It's awesome. I was tearing up and choked up when she was talking about these things from the past and us all knowing what happened. When she says, I've only known one other being like this, and she says a wise master named Jedi master named Yoda. The way she says it is just like, it's so. It was so emotional. Like, man, like, fond memories. It has such like PTSD and all that shit.
When she's talking about Yoda like that too, and they start hitting John Williams Yoda's theme, that's just like, oh, God, this is amazing. This is exactly what Star Wars needs to be, and it's like hats off to Dave and John.
Dude.
It's like, dude, it's so amazing.
Who's doing the music for this?
Ludwig.
Okay, so I forgot. I actually noted this, and I forgot to mention it. When they showed Ahsoka in the very first opening scene, first they had her fight a couple things, and then when they actually kind of like revealed her, I was just like in shock just hearing the Ahsoka theme. I just like it was such a sensory, like emotional overload just hearing that. It brings me right back always to her fight with Vader. That's what that just those
totally.
Whatever that is, that instrument that plays that, I just think of her fighting Vader, and I just want to I wish I want to crawl on my bed and cry.
The one about like the music for this season is that every fucking episode has been better than the one before it.
Dude's killing.
The score has been killer. And the one thing that's bumming me out is that so far they've only released the score for the first 4 episodes. Yeah. And they're not going to release the score for the final 4 episodes until
it's over.
Until it's over, yeah.
I hope, dude, I bought the first season on vinyl.
Tight.
And awesome. Dude, if they release it for the second, I'm buying that shit too.
Oh, they will. Oh, yeah. They will.
And then I need somebody to do a synth remix of Ahsoka's.
Dude.
And then I want a trap mix too.
There's I know there's already a lo-fi version.
So it was amazing.
Yeah, that one's good.
Just killing it. So she decided, moving along to the episode, she decides that she's gonna take a look at Baby Yoda's Grogu's powers in the morning. So we get sort of a little Master Padawan training session, like unofficial, but still brought those vibes back, and that was really cool. And they were going to test his powers. She uses the Force to float a rock over to him, and then she wants him to float it back. Baby Yoda doesn't do it. Grogu, I'm gonna see. I'm trying, Chris. I'm trying specifically for you. I'm trying to.
Oh, thank you.
So Grogu doesn't float it back, and then she starts getting these weird like vibes off of him, and she says she's one of the most iconic lines in Star, like, because they say it so much in Star Wars. She says, "I sense much fear in him," and that's I think Yoda said that about Luke. I think
and Anakin.
It's been said a few times, and they bring it back here, which is really cool. She has an idea where she realizes that his connection to Mando might be better than her trying to train him. I feel like she doesn't say this outright, but she's already turning the wheels in her head. She's already thinking like Mando's got to be his his master. They're already bonded. There's no way that I can just take him from him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no way.
So she already knows that this kid isn't coming with her.
I don't quite agree with that. It's not that Mando has to be his master. It's more of because he already has that bond. The Jedi and the way Ahsoka was trained was kids were taken from their families before they even knew their families. So we're talking like the younger, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they would
It's like the
take
Spartan 2 program.
Yeah. Like they would train them from the youngest of ages, like to the point where like the majority of the Jedi never knew their family. And
Right.
it was only like rare happenstance if you ever went back to your home world for any reason. So like it definitely wasn't that. It was more of a because he already has that connection with Mando and that like Baby Yoda looks at him as dad, that's where like the fear and the anger and the hate would come from to be
Right.
pulled apart. So I'm almost thinking, well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to like insinuate that he would train him in like the Force or anything like that. But I just felt like she knew that this wasn't going to work. Like in a traditional sense, like that it would have, and which obviously the Jedi would have done.
And even if some. I see. I see what you're saying. I agree.
I want to point out the very simple fact that very same thing. I mean, we all just said this a few minutes ago, but that very same thing was said about Anakin, and it was also said about Luke.
And
Luke was definitely too old. I don't know if a 50-year-old baby Yoda is too old. I doubt it.
Well, I mean, presumably he already has some training too, so he's not. It's not like he's a blank slate. But
of course, I mean, clearly he has training. He can steal cookies. He can take little knobbies.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of knobbies, Ahsoka wants Mando to try to get Grogu to float the stone. Now it also doesn't work, but then he brings out the fucking knob, and Baby Yoda just doesn't. He hesitates a couple seconds, but then he not only does he float it over to him, but he pulls it to him, and he's like, "My knob, motherfucker, it's just mine."
I liked it how he's like, Grogu, want this?
Yeah. He was talking to him like he was feeding him. Here's the airplane.
That was so good.
Heartwarming was
like there he like pats his little sack on the right side in the same spot where the ball actually is, in order to kind of like tell Din where what to do.
So Wayne, you had kids, and none of us else do, but like I don't know if like because I still don't have kids, but I still was like so happy when I saw the excited dad moment when he pulled the thing, and Mando was like, "See, I told you could do it." He's like, "Good boy, that's my boy." It was so like I was like, "Oh,
yeah, that was."
He's just a proud dad.
Yeah, well, ever since it seems like to me, he's really taken on he's really embraced the philosophy of fatherhood, of being an actual dad since the armor, said you are as his father. Like he takes it very seriously. And that payoff kind of was like, like the reward moment. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Like a proud moment. Like, I take this seriously and this to be proud of. And I think that is really cool.
Like your kid hit a home run in the winning game, or scored the winning goal or some shit like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ahsoka sees all this happening and she says, "Look, I can't do anything. His bond is too tight to yours. There's no way that Jedi has to, like you said, Nico, has to be like disconnected from everything." And the exact thing that she says, I wrote the whole line down. She says, "His attachment to you makes him vulnerable to his fears, his anger." Mando says she should train him anyway, and she says, "I've seen what such feelings can do to a fully trained Jedi to the best of us." And that made me so sad again because obviously, of course, she's talking about Anakin, and we all know his tragic story. Same thing.
Here's the thing, though. We don't know if Ahsoka knows that Luke saved Vader.
Right. But she's just talking about his attachment to Padme.
Sure. Well, I mean, he's talking about all of his attachments because he was also attached to Palpatine, you know,
and Obi-Wan and her,
and her too, for sure. So yeah, like Anakin hit a lot of shit, and around that time, the Jedi were basically crumbling.
Yeah. So,
to the dark side.
So basically, what happens is he reveals that. That's the wrong review show. We can do a side show where we review X-Men.
Just answer. I'm just happy to see that.
So what happens after that is he actually reveals to Ahsoka that the magistrate wants her to kill him, and he goes, I didn't hire him to kill him. He's like, I didn't agree on anything. He's like, but I see that you have these issues, and I will help you with your problems here if you train Baby Yoda, which she agrees to. And he says, a Jedi and a Man-Dab-Lorian, they'll never see it coming. So
I like this part of the show because it's clear after the fact that she never intended to keep that. Like, she was like, okay, yeah, I'll take your help, but never had any inkling of keeping her word, which bothers me that she would give zero intention of keeping it.
Hold on.
But we'll get
hold on to that.
That's where, to me, it seemed like it bothered me that it came off that way.
That's why I was saying before when I was saying that, like, she recognizes his attachment to her. Like, I was saying, like, the wheels are already turning in her head. Like, she already knows kind of like that she's not going to be taking this kid. This kid has to stay with Mando. So she's already had these like machinations rolling. These hamster wheels are spinning in her head. I think she kind of she kind of planned this, like, the way that he'll help me do my thing, and then I'll send him on his way to the next part of his journey.
I don't believe that's correct.
Okay.
Where are we in this episode? I forgot.
Right where he agrees to help her with her issue.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's just keep going, and I'll get to it when we get to what she tells him.
So we get after this. This is about maybe 75% through the episode. So we get the last 25% of some of the best Star Wars shit I've ever seen. Like, it was just top to bottom, top shelf, top notch, top everything Star Wars. It was a samurai movie. It was a Western movie. It was it was so good.
It was the best live action lightsaber shit we've seen since the hallway thing in Rogue One, and before that, the fucking prequels.
Yeah, 100% it was. Yeah, I never even thought of it that way. The first live action, because we got some good battles, but like not live action. Yeah,
and not just anybody, but it's Ahsoka.
Favorite, everybody's favorite Torgruta. So we get an awesome attack. Them just storming the castle, like, straight up. They're playing the Ahsoka thing. She jumps up to the guards that are up by the bell, and she slices the fucking bell in like sections, and the bell falls and then dings, and that's the alarm going off. Like,
just that scene. Love the whole thing.
It was so.
I kind of thought she was gonna blow the door down with the pieces of the bell and make like a grand entrance. I kind of was waiting for that to happen.
That would have been
cool.
If she
behind her and whipped it.
So when she was walking down the street, did anybody notice the loaf cat that popped up?
Yes, the feral loaf.
So we got a Lothcat. How did a fucking Lothcat get to Corvus? That was obviously just a Filoni nod, like
of course.
Lothcat. Also possibly an Ezra hit.
Wow.
It's a thing from Rebels, and
Well, they were also on what was that planet where we met Cara Dune at?
Navarro?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Yeah, the original one. Yeah, I don't know. I forget the name.
Shrimp.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that one.
The Shrampins on that planet. He was. Who was there?
Cara Dune.
What's that?
Cara Dune was there. Yeah, that's where they met.
Right, but what does that have to do with David Filoni and Rebels and the Lothcats?
I mean, there was a
Lothcat in the bar.
Was there? Okay, yeah, I didn't. I don't remember.
He hissed at Baby Yoda, and Grogu was all. It was almost kind of like Gizmo-y.
I just love how they're peppering all these like Rebels Easter eggs and shit in there. So, yeah, we just get an awesome battle. She walks up and she tosses Mando's pauldron, his little shoulder pad in. Oh, I guess I fucked up your Jedi, your bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends these remind me again, HK 88, 48s,
HK 87 assassin droids.
They're not the same ones from that Dr. Aphra book, or they're the same droids, right? But there's wasn't there a specific one that was like a character in the Dr. Aphra books?
Not those droids. No, these droids predate those.
Right, but there was an HK droid that was something. Maybe did Revan have one? Maybe. There was like a famous HK droid. He would call everybody like meat. He was like calling people like meat bags and shit like that.
Yeah, and Knights of the Old Republic role-playing game.
Yeah,
HK-47.
Okay, so it was like a Revan had it, or one of the.
Revan's old droid. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's where I remember it from.
Yeah, I never actually played that game. So.
Me neither, but I've read all about like the story on like you guys ever go to like Wikipedia? It's like the
sometimes together, yeah.
And I spend sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just go on there and just read up like old lore and shit like that. Same thing I always do with like Game of Thrones and shit like that. Just try and get as much information as I can because I'll probably never play Knights of the Old Republic, even though I own it. It's just I should just watch that. Yeah, I tried to. It's the gameplay in that's just one of the gameplays that I have a problem getting into. Like that RPG kind of like very tedious. Like I have to put on boots and put on special socks and fucking armor them up. Like I get very bored with that kind of shit.
These days it's tedious for sure. Like it would be really clunky and feel extremely dangerous to try and play that game now.
Okay. But they do have like on YouTube. I could go. There's like a 30-minute like just a cinematic like the storyline.
Oh, it's way longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like 12 hours.
I should
that'd be pretty tight to check that out.
10 minutes at a time every day or something like that.
For like all of 21.
Anyway, so Magistrate tells her people to kill the prisoners, and she goes inside, and Mando comes and he saves everybody. But before he saves everybody, that Asian dude looked like he was about to try to save.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm doing something. Yeah, I'm not.
He's like, fuck this, and then Mando stopped, saved the day before he needed to, and. Yeah, he subs like a respectable nod, like and then he was like,
Mando helped him get the
guys,
rotisserie electrofile.
So yeah, then we just get like a bunch of awesome scenes of them just fucking everybody up, which is great. Just amazing action. So what happens after that is Mando faces off against Lang in a super duper Clint Eastwood Western gunfighter moment. Before he does that, they show Mando here and they show Ahsoka up on the roof, and then she, it's kind of like implied like, hey, like, I got this, you go do your thing. And she goes off to face the magistrate.
Oh, you left out her fucking up all those guns and the HK droids.
Oh, that's right. Yep. The HK droids
she's just like picking them off and shit.
Yeah, one by one, slicing through them.
Through the city. It was dope.
It's just it's a thing like they did last week too, where they had like Mando fighting, and then they had Grief and Cara and Horatio Sands like fighting. They kind of like did a minute of them, and then a minute, and then they just kind of like flip back and forth to show kind of what was going on simultaneously. But yeah, and then we culminate to each of them fights their own little like person, and they do the same thing. They play like a few seconds of Mando and Lang, and then they switch over to Ahsoka and what was her name? What's that?
The wrong show.
What did I say?
I don't know, man. I didn't see Mando playing with his wang. I don't know what you're talking.
That was a different thing I was watching later.
Jeez.
Watching some Mando fanfic porn.
That was not Disney approved.
You know, or probably would have been. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
they were getting a
back
cut
in the day.
I'll bet you Disney gets a cut of Disney parody porn. I'll bet you they do.
No.
It's happening.
It's parody. That's the only reason it can even happen in the first place.
And maybe the mouse is making it himself. Maybe he's funding it.
House of Mouse.
It's possible, I suppose, if you want to get all conspiracy theory about it.
Anyways, it's enough about porn for the next 5 minutes. Yes, so Lang, Mando and Lang. There's this awesome like kind of high noon, even though it's nighttime. High noon Clint Eastwood gunfighter moment, and then they keep switching back between that and then Ahsoka and Morgan, their fight. Now I love their fight so much because Morgan was a badass too, but Ahsoka was fighting in her cocky Ahsoka man, like very much the way she fought Maul. She's just very like she was like toying with her in the beginning. She didn't get serious until she realized that this person was very, potentially formidable and knocked away one of her lightsabers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying. She was kind of on the defensive the whole time, never really went on offense.
Yeah, I thought. Well, the thing is that it's implied too that she doesn't want to kill her or hurt her. She needs the information, so she wants to keep her alive. But just the way she was like, she's swinging her spear, and Ahsoka's just kind of like, hey, with a smirk on her face, like, God, kind of just blocking, like, I got you, bitch. You ain't got nothing. Yeah, she actually disarms her. She takes away her full size lightsaber and then leaves her with her Shoto. And then she does the thing I was talking about before. She almost gets serious and she flips it around, reverse grips it, and it's just like, all right, now, the stakes are high. Now let's do this. All the while they're flashing back to Mando and Lang and their very tense gunfighter moment, showing his hand, which, by the way, I don't know how many of you guys have shot a gun before like that, but to like quick draw a gun, like I'm not like obviously a gunfighter, but like I would imagine that having a gun in a holster and quick drawing and firing it with those thick ass gloves that he's wearing would really like hinder.
It'd be hard.
Dexterity. But anyway, that's just a stupid like nitpicky thing.
The other side of it too is like Lang's kind of a fucking idiot for trying to even take that shot at Mando, especially after being in a knelt position, putting that laser shotgun rifle thing down, and then trying to go for his own pistol like that. It's just such a fucking boner move.
The thing is they specifically show like when he puts his gun down, they show Mando take his hand away from the gun. I think that's where he has the shot. He doesn't know how fast Mando is. Maybe he thinks he's fast, and he's like, how fast can this guy really be? Doesn't realize that Mando is Clint Eastwood, and he does basically. Did he spin it when he put it back? Because he might as well have.
No, I don't think he did. But he blew the smoke away from the barrel.
Yeah, he totally just fucked that guy up. Just pow.
They need to have him do that in an episode, like just sometime where it's just like a well-deserved kill, just blow the smoke like with the helmet on, and just have it be the sound effect of Pedro.
Twirl it back, and it was wholesome. It was
I
so
think
awesome.
it did look like he spun it like a single spin to reholster.
He might have like did one of these things, like flipped it like this.
Yeah, he did flip like a spin, kind of a flip, but it was like one back in. It wasn't like the old Western where they'd spin it around their finger 3 or 4 times before. But I think he did into the holster, which was badass.
So yeah, at the same time he does that, they go back to Ahsoka. She uses her Shoto, which is what she has left, reverse grips it, disarms Magistrate Elsbeth, Morgan Elsbeth, and just says the 5 words that I think blew any actual, like, no, I don't know, when I say actual Star Wars fan, I just mean like the non-casual thing. So basically us, the guys who don't just watch the movies and are watching this, but know about Rebels, know about Clone Wars and shit like that. She says, "Where is your master?" And then she says, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?"
Who?
I don't know.
Star-Lord, man.
Come on, man. I didn't see that coming at all. I should have, but I didn't. I don't know if you guys saw it coming.
Yeah, boy.
None of us had any way of knowing. You know? That was the magic of
I was saying, yeah, boy, to the dab, not to me knowing. Yeah, no one saw that coming.
I was gonna say that before we start. That's basically how the episode ended. There's a couple more things, but before we start getting into theories about everything, let's take a break.
Yeah, let's do another Dizab.
I'm not gonna do another down. I'm gonna take a couple whacks.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run through the rest of this episode real quick, and then we'll get to speculation. So basically, we just get this like feel good moment toward the end. They don't show whether Morgan answers her, but I think it's implied that she does, and we'll get to that later. But so basically, she, Mando is about to, I guess, leave Baby Yoda there, but she's like, "Look, I just can't. Okay, this is basically your kid. I can't take away your fucking kid. I can't train him. Also, she has shit to do."
Mm-hmm. That's what I got out of that. She's busy as fuck.
Yeah.
She's like, dude, I got it.
So she tells him, she goes, "Look, I can give you an alternative to help you." So she sends him to planet Nico. Remember? Typhus?
Tython.
Typhon?
Like Python, but with the T.
Typhoid.
Tython.
Pam. Are you saying Pam?
I'm gonna punch you through the phone.
Ham.
She says, "Take him to planet Typhon," and she says, "Sit him on top of the Seeing Stone, and he might have a connection, reach out through the Force, and possibly a Jedi will come looking for him." Now, Nico probably, I don't know, he can help us out a little bit, but about this planet, from what I know, it's the first Jedi temple, and it's a planet where the Force was discovered.
Kind of, yes. It's a very strong connection to the Force on this planet overall.
Okay.
So this Jedi temple, even though it's like a ruined Jedi temple, it's also going to be like, if you can remember episodes of Rebels where they went to the Jedi temples and there were ghosts, and there were like, Kanan got knighted by who was formerly the Grand Inquisitor, a Jedi Temple guard.
Right.
I have a feeling that we're in for some crazy shit like that.
That'd be dope.
I did read that this planet has 2 moons, and they have like one of them is supposed to represent the light side, and one of them is supposed to represent the dark side. And in Rebels, when he met Bendu, there was something about, I forget the names of the 2 moons, but something about that in there.
The Aslan and the Bogan.
Okay. Yeah.
The thing about those, they haven't confirmed if those moons are a part of canon, so that might not be here.
Okay. They said in Rebels. Isn't Rebels canon?
No. But they were referring to it because that was what Bendu referred to as the light side and the dark. So like there were those 2 moons, and what would happen is if anybody was out of balance in the Force, whether you needed to go to the light side moon or the dark side moon, you would be sent to one or the other to balance out yourself. Because
that's tight.
Yeah, it's a really dope story. So like the idea that we might see some Force ghosts in this next episode that are just like,
he's so amazing.
Dude, what if we actually see Yoda?
Would die inside?
That would be tight, dude.
When Ahsoka mentions Yoda,
she gets so emotional.
Grogu fucking gets all emotional and does like a high-pitched kind of coo, like he loved Yoda. And when he does it, Ahsoka looks at him and smiles and like reacts to like what he's force thinking to her.
That's dope.
So
yeah, man. That would be so sick, dude.
That's basically the end of the episode, right? When they kind of like take off and then it ends. There's no like stinger at the end, as far as I remember.
The other thing I want to point out,
everybody, even though they keep screwing him over, like Bo-Katan screws him over, and he ends up saying thank you.
It's a recurring theme. Well, it's because that I think
made a promise to keep, and he ends up saying thank you. I mean, it's like, he's respectful for the guy who keeps getting a stick.
They're teaching him things, and he's learning how to act out of his bubble code that he had. You know what I mean?
Totally. He's growing.
He's learning from each one of these characters about how the world isn't just in this black and white kind of weird way.
It's funny. If he considers himself still just a child of the Watch, and that's all that he is, or if he sees himself as a bigger than that at this point.
I think he's evolving into more. But now, what I want to do now is get into some like speculation and shit like that. And Nico, you had wanted to say something.
Yeah. So like the way I kind of took what Ahsoka was saying is she's implying. And I think a lot of people are taking it this way to mean that she's thinking Luke will come to see Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
The Luke is the one that'll respond.
That's what I first thought.
And a lot of people are going with that. And if it happens, again, I will require a full change after my first viewing because...
Dude,
I will hit both the white note and the brown note simultaneously.
And the yellow one too. Throw that in there.
All the notes, all the colors.
I will run through them all at simultaneously, like in a way that would make me some kind of marvel of science and medicine.
Dude, you're like crying, you got a runny nose, puking.
All of
pissing, wet spot, dude, the whole thing.
like
you hit all symptoms for Pepto.
I turn into almost a Katsuhiro Otomo Akira mutation in this period of time where it's just like everything starts flowing out of everywhere.
He's yelling Canada.
It's
I mean, that's your boy. Luke is your boy.
Yeah.
Luke is right up there with Optimus Prime and every other hero. He's just like he's one of the best. But
what happened in the movie that we saw of him, like he needs some solid canon
for sure
screen time.
And I don't think we're gonna get him. What I think is actually gonna happen is Ahsoka is gonna show up to the temple because if you watched her, and especially if you have the subtitles on, she sighs a lot, and it's because she has a heavy heart about letting them go, and she was also like Grogu was saying stuff to her as they were leaving.
She winked at him or something, right? And like smiled,
smiling, laughing about what he was saying, like, and there was one thing from earlier in the episode too that Ahsoka was totally flirting with Din. So like easily this was like groundwork for Ahsoka to be, the mommy Lorian to Din's daddy Lorian.
That's very interesting because up until now, Ahsoka hasn't. She was kind of had a thing with Lux, but Lux didn't have a thing with her. But she's had no like love interest at all. In her book, there was a female on the planet that she had that was in love with Ahsoka, but it wasn't like a return thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't go into that at all. But yeah, that's a love interest with Ahsoka. That's very interesting.
But that's my thinking, is that she'll show up to the temple, but she's going to show up after Moff Gideon and the Dark Troopers do, and they're going to get Baby Yoda, and Din's going to be fucked up, and Ahsoka's going to have to try to tend to Din and like rally up the rest of the troops for everyone's big ass battle to go save Baby Yoda from.
Dude, if they capture him, ooh. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that.
For Christmas, like last year, like Baby Yoda was captured in the episode right before Christmas, and it was really, really kind of, like, damn it.
I know. It's like, dude, how am I supposed to have a good Christmas when I know this motherfucker's in danger, dude?
I guarantee you that Baby Yoda will be captured again.
Yeah, and I think what's probably going to happen is, I don't think we're going to end the season with Baby Yoda captured. I think by the end of the season, Din will have him back, and maybe even the Darksaber. But I don't know. We'll see in 3 weeks, right?
I could totally see this season ending on him being captured.
Dude, no way. That's a long time.
Cliffhanger. I'm just saying, I could see it. I could see it being a possibility.
I don't think they'd do that.
They kind of wrap everything up, dude, by the end of each one. So I feel like they'll have it wrapped up.
Doesn't mean they're going to, though.
I don't think that
spaghetti Western style.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that's why he'd get captured in this episode, and then by the end of the last one, everybody's back together again as family. It's poetry. It flows. But there is always a potential. I just think that they know that would be such a torturous thing for all of the fans of the show if we were left with a fucking year wait.
Dude, yeah, that would be gnarly. There's no way they could do that. Yeah.
All right, so what's the wait between the fourth or the next 2 seasons? Because I heard they're filming back to back. So are they gonna make a year even though they're filming them back to back?
I don't know. That's a good question too.
Could they just continue on, give it a couple of months off, and then be like, okay, here we just roll right into the next season? That would be really wonderful.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get more episodes per season too.
Man, me too, dude. There's just not enough.
Yeah.
So I want to bring something up. I was reading some speculation about how. So obviously she asked this question, "Where's Grand Admiral Thrawn?" And the whole world flips out that knows about it. Because last we saw of Grand Admiral Thrawn, he and Ezra got taken away by space whales to God knows what time and place.
Hercule.
So at the very end of
Space whales.
At the very end of Rebels, we get this flash forward of Ahsoka showing up to Sabine.
Worst dad joke ever.
And I missed it.
Oh, I said he took him to Purgatory.
Oh. Anyways, so this very last episode of Rebels is Ahsoka showing up to Sabine and presumably going to find Ezra. A lot of people were speculating that this episode or that thing at the end of Rebels takes place after the Mandalorian episode, and the years line up. If you look at the age of Jason Syndulla, being, well, I'd be doing math right now, but so it would have been like it's like 5 years after Return of the Jedi, correct? Mm-hmm. And this would have been season 2, so Jason Syndulla was about 6. I think they were establishing. So it would have lined up.
Was it 5? I thought it was like 9 years.
Well, either way, whatever age he was, it lines up to where we are right now with Mandalorian, with season 2 of Mandalorian. So that it is possible that she learned where Grand Admiral Thrawn is, and then went back to get Sabine, and that's that scene at the end of Rebels, which I thought was really cool.
Shit, maybe that'd be pretty dope.
That's a nice long game from Filoni.
Dude, that is a long con.
The other side to crap, I just had that thought and I lost.
That's why it's Man-Dab-Lorian. That'll happen.
I'll come back to it, you guys.
That's all I had to add. Really, like, I don't know if you guys have any more like theories and shit like that, but I kind of feel like they're leading up to Luke. And if we saw him, they still have to show Boba Fett again too.
Well, there's only so many.
I know, right?
Like we've got Luke Skywalker. We've got the guy from the Fallen Order video game, Cal Kestis.
That's a good point too. That would be awesome if he showed up.
Yeah, Cal Kestis. Neat.
Yeah, and he was a Padawan at the Jedi Temple too. So I wonder if there's a possibility if we see Cal Kestis, if he might even know Grogu.
It's true. I'm surprised that Ahsoka didn't know her.
Well, he is 10 years older than Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So
still baby technically, but maybe he's like not.
I just mean
like
at that point. She never came across another Jedi apprentice that was a baby version of Yoda. Maybe he wasn't like made public with the other younglings. Maybe he was like trained in private.
That could be because he's Yoda's son.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Definitely, that would be the.
But he's like, "Fuck, dude, I've been alive for like."
Train my son in private.
So somebody
like 50 years. He's like, I'm tapping it.
Somebody pointed out to me that the Jedi had these like rules about relationships and families and shit. But there's a case of is it Monday Jedi Monday? I can't. Oh, his whole name, Ax Mundi or something like that.
What? Kiadi Mundi.
Sure.
Kiadi Mundi. Yeah. So he apparently was allowed to have he had multiple wives and was allowed to have families and shit. Specifically because his species was going extinct and he was allowed to repopulate. So maybe it's possible that Yoda was able to do this too.
Shit, maybe, man. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Fuck a mushroom, I did.
Did you remember what you were thinking of before?
It was that Cal Kestis point that maybe Grogu from the temple,
Yeah.
He pops up, the kid who plays him, and he's like, "Oh, hey, I know this guy."
Yeah, hey, I remember you. Just some crazy shit like that. But I also I hope at some point we get to see like Ahsoka and Baby Yoda communicating and them doing it like visually showing flashbacks of like him being trained by like Plo Koon or Kiadi Mundi or fucking Maid.
Yeah.
How dope would that be? What if they actually what if that's why Ewan McGregor was actually on the set of The Mandalorian, was to film a scene where he trained Baby Yoda at lightsaber fighting or something.
Whoa, that'd be crazy if he knew about it.
There's got to be some kind of a tie-in with that, right?
You figure he would. I mean, Obi was pretty high on the list of people that knew things, you know?
Yeah.
It's honestly
member of the Jedi High Council.
Yeah. And he's also even though he has his show coming up, it would fit perfectly to have him just do this flashback shot, him training a classroom full of younglings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no Jedi.
Dude, that would be so sick.
Anakin, right? So, as far as training goes, he probably, it is conceivable that he would have done general education at the, over at the on the academy side, right?
Especially with him being an amazing duelist, like he would have, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, flippins and.
I got a feeling
flip in, flip out
because you have to make a special case for him. Like, you can't exactly give him a saber and have him, I mean, he's just not big enough or ready to be. You want to get him as young as possible, but it's going to take 100 years before he'll be ready to wield a lightsaber. So
possibly, we don't know. Also, maybe they age slow as babies and get older. Like, who knows? Who knows exactly how?
Right.
Yoda was training Jedi at 200. He was a member of the Jedi Council at 200 years old and stayed on the Jedi Council for a long time and only left for a period of time on his own choice, his own choosing.
Mm-hmm.
So here's an option, and here's how they've done this. I'm sure some other shows too, but like one I can specifically reference is Angel. So when Angel had a kid, everybody was kind of like, all right, well, he's got a kid now. But like, what's gonna happen with this fucking kid? Is he just gonna have a kid, like a baby, for the rest of this season, the whole show? So what they did was like somebody came and escaped with the baby and jumped into like a hell dimension. And then next season he came back, and of course time moves differently in this hell dimension. So the kid was, 17 or whatever. So I wonder if there's maybe some sort of like War Between Worlds kind of deal where maybe we can somehow jump cut to Baby Yoda being older at some point.
Hopefully not too much older, because I don't want Mando to be dead too.
Well, no, I mean specifically Baby Yoda. Maybe for example, if they did the same thing with Angel, maybe somebody escapes through time with him, and then he gets
so it gets back to the regular timeline. Okay, that makes sense.
But he's older.
I'm gonna throw it out there that I guarantee you their intention with Baby Yoda is to continue to produce Baby Yoda shit for the next 900 years.
Yeah,
so they're gonna grow up and become a Jedi Master, but we won't be around to see it.
So another thing is that maybe he chooses his path, on site, and maybe his path isn't to be a Jedi. Maybe his path is to be a Mandalorian. Maybe he's going to be a force-wielding Mandalorian instead of a Jedi.
What if he becomes Mandalore?
Maybe he's the reincarnation of Mandalore the Great.
Dude, that'd be dope too.
Yeah, all these are
instead of the Force and the Darksaber, like what, pre-Vizsla?
Yeah,
it would be amazing.
All these things are amazing possibilities, and we'll never know. And we only have 3 episodes left. I have a feeling that I want to say that I have a feeling that next episode is going to kind of be a filler one, and then they'll do the penultimate, and then
no, I'll bet you they'll fucking be bangers, dude. All 3 of them.
All the rest of
We've literally had an entire season of amazing episodes. There hasn't been a filler.
No.
Who's directing this next one? Anybody know?
I'm hoping it's the Robert Rodriguez episode, but
it's Van Damme. I don't know.
Claude? John?
That'd be dope.
It's gonna be a lot of Baby Yoda doing splits. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I don't know if anybody had any other theories or anything they wanted to add.
Yeah,
we can wrap it up. I was so overwhelmingly happy with this episode that I'm just it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. It really is.
It really is. Remember, Mark Hamill came out before, obviously before episode was at 8, and was like, if you want it to be like you did when it was a kid, it's not going to make that expectation. It's not going to be the same because you're not a little kid anymore. Now it's different. You're an adult. You need to kind of view things differently and meet your expectations differently. I felt like a friggin' little kid watching this episode, and it was hyped up. Like you spent all week hearing about the Transformers episode that was coming this Saturday morning, and then that Saturday morning it was even better than you thought it was going to be. Like that was this. Like it was completely. We spent a year speculating. We spent hyping it up, and when it delivered beyond my expectations even. Which I was really shocked that it could even deliver way above what I was even expecting.
It's well said. Well said.
Yeah, that's a good note.
I really have. There hasn't been one that's been like, man, I don't know. I just didn't think it was as cool as I thought it was going to be. They've always over-delivered. Every one of them.
Yeah. I can't wait to be able to watch both seasons back to back.
Yeah.
Like just have a madman
marathon. Yeah. That's gonna be dope.
I haven't done that with a series since Game of Thrones. I would always watch as soon as season 2 would end, I would go back and watch season 1 and then rewatch it through season 2. And then every year I would do that same thing. As soon as the season end, I would go back and watch the whole series through again. And
I used to do that with Walking Dead, and that's it, dude.
And then Walking Dead and Game of Thrones both turned into garbage shows, and I couldn't do that anymore.
I had a Christmas Eve tradition where I would sit down and watch the prequels, all 3 of them, if I had the time or if I could. If some days, some Christmas Eves I had to cook or whatever. But this last Christmas Eve, I replaced the trilogy with The Man-Dab-Lorian for the first time ever.
It's awesome.
And this Christmas Eve, it'll probably be The Man-Dab-Lorian season.
Dude, yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah. Be tight.
It is Star Wars, the same level as the trilogy is. And that's a bold statement, I think. At least for me it is, but it's that level,
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think we can end this show. It was a fun show.
It was fun.
I can't wait till next week. I can't wait till they show Ahsoka more.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I can't wait to see more of Grogu and Ahsoka.
We've been chomping at the bit so long for Ahsoka. Like all season, all we could talk about was we can't wait for Ahsoka. And now that it's here, it's like the episode's
like it was too short.
But
even though it was long as hell.
It was packed with so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here's my Ahsoka with her samurai pantaloons, and you can expect to see this shot from me on Instagram on Monday, for Mango Monday.
Awesome. Good. I'll use this. I'll use it as the screen grab for the show. Actually,
right.
Yojimbo pants.
That's right. The Master Samurai.
Awesome. All right, guys. Everybody, have a great night. I have spoken, and this is the way.
This is the way.
Peace, love, and Baby Yoda. Grogu, sorry.
And Reese's Pieces.
Greasy's Pieces.